Hello guys, we continue to create our home space and venue space venue management system in Laravel, and in this lesson number 5 or part number 5 we will take care of the listings of the properties or venues. On our home page we have new venues for you, and this will be the core for listing for every page of the project. So home page and then list by category, list by location, search results, or anything like that. From the original theme called home space, we have this block from the home page. So those tiles with pagination. We don't need pagination on the home page, but we will start with the home page. So we will fill in with real data, and then we'll move it on to search results and results by location and by event type, as I said. So let's go to our home blade, and here inside of our home blade we have new venues for you and this loop. First, newest venues, we get to home controller, and newest venues, let's take 3 instead of 6. So newest venues, because now in seeds we have 4 items, 4 venues. You can go back to previous part where we actually created the seeds, by the way. So we have 3 new venues, and for all the venues those things are hard-coded for now. So instead of property details we would have route. Actually, we created that already, but it's not functional yet. So route venue show with 2 parameters, venue slug from what I remember, and venue ID. Right, okay, what else do we need to replace? Images, we'll take care of that a little later. So price would be venue price per hour. Then this will be venue name or venue title. I think it is venue name. And this will be venue address. Venue address. And instead of these area beds and all of that, we will show such things as event types. And we'll show them here. So venue event types. I think it is block name of event type, and then implode into this. So collection operation and then implode with comma separated. We'll see, we'll test it soon. So one will be event types and the other will be number of people. Number of people will be venue. What's the variable? People maximum, people minimum, people maximum. So people minimum, 2 people maximum. And let's see, we delete the unnecessary columns and let's see what we have here. Do we have any errors or not? Refresh the page. Do we see the ignition? Yeah, implode. Yeah, that's not the best way. Or actually, yeah, because event types. Let's do it this way. Venue with event types. And let's check if the name is correct. So venue types, event types. Yep, we have belongs to many. So event types should be good. Let's try it out again. Same error, invalid arguments. And of course, pluck is the collection and implode deals with arrays, so we need to do 2 array. I'm pretty sure there's another way to deal with that, but just from my memory I remember these operations with collections and arrays. Feel free to do that in your own way. So now let's try to refresh the page. And we have the data now, event types, conferences, number of people from 2, so we have 3 new venues with prices and all of that, and the link, it will show 404 now because we didn't implement that in controller, but we have the list of the venues. Now let's take care of the photos. Photos, if we get to the size is 500 by 500. So we need to generate those thumbnails from the original photos. An original photo is this one, the big one, right? So what we need to do in Spatie MediaLibrary, there is a function, if we go to venue, there is a function called register media conversions. So when uploading the file or assigning that to collection, it can create any media files with any sizes. So in our case, we had the thumb for 50 by 50, and let's try big thumb 500 by 500. So we add those here, and for that to take place, we need to refresh the database, do migrate fresh seed, and that is the place where seeds are actually really useful, because at any point of the project we do migrate fresh seed and we don't need to wipe the database manually, take care of some data not saved or something like that. We just do migrate fresh seed, and it should be successful, fingers crossed. Menu stable. It takes longer because it generates the photos, and let's see if it did generate the photos. So in media table, generated conversions should be thumb true, and these thumb true and big thumb true. Okay, that should be good. And in the home blade, instead of that hard-coded image, we do, as in previous lessons, we do venue get first media URL from collection. Right, found it in the documentation of Spatie MediaLibrary, and it's get first media URL. This is the collection name, and this is the conversion name. So we need main photo and then big thumb, and else let it be venue name. Fingers crossed, we refresh the page. And do you see the pictures? Yay, we have 500, not exactly 5 by 5. Actually, interesting. Open link, open image. It is 500 by 333. But anyway, it doesn't really matter for us. 500 is the width and height is automatic. It still looks very good. So this is how you deal with the Spatie MediaLibrary media conversions for images. In our next step, we create a list of category, list by category, which is event type in our case. So list of conferences, award ceremonies, and all of that. For that, we create a new route. So we go to routes web and do event type, for example, slug. And venue controller should be, no, event type controller. Or actually, should it be venue controller index with parameters? Thinking about it, what is the best way? No, actually, let's create for now a separate controller, and then, so event type controller index, event type index. Later, we will maybe restructure that. So we create event type controller, but we don't need to create. We need to basically file save as do this. We don't need request here, so some cleanup. So file save as event type controller and event type controller. And what we need here is just the venues. So venues with event types. It's not the latest. Well, it will be latest actually. Take and get. Instead of take and get, we will do paginate, and paginate by 6. And instead of newest venues, it will be venues. And we filter that by belongs to menu relationship. So venues with event types, where has event types. Function callback, from what I remember the syntax, where event types slug equals slug, and slug comes from here, and also needs to be passed here. Use slug where latest paginate, return view event type. Event type. I think that's it. Let's check the use. So we don't need those, and we need the view event type, right? So we take our home blade and also do save as event type event type here, and we remove everything that is unnecessary. So we don't need featured menus, we don't need slider. We use the same layouts front. That's actually where we create the second page with the same layout, but with some stuff not needed. So front is the same parent layout, but instead of these venue types, we don't need them either. And we need only newest venues, but even those will be not the newest venues, but venue by category, right? By event type. Venues for event type name. An event type will be passed also from controller, so event type equals event type, where slug equals slug, first or fail. First or fail will check if it exists, and if it doesn't exist, it will throw 404 page, not found. So event type. That's it, and then instead of newest venues, we have venues here, and probably it should be enough. We don't need discover spaces in, so we just list the listing of the venue type. And we need to add the URLs, so we have web PHP and event type, not index, let's remove the index. So event type will be the name of the route, and in our home blade we need to actually pass that route. So where do we have event types? Event types, what is the link? Yeah, this one. So instead of just hash, we do route, event type, and parameter would be event type slug. Fingers crossed, as I always say, we refresh the page and we see that home page is still loading. Yep, and we have the link, event type conferences. Fingers crossed it has something for us. Venues for conferences. Yay, we have the same venues with the same data without pagination yet. So let's do pagination as an example. So we'll have 3 per page, for example, for this particular testing. And we do event type controller paginate by 3. And it should probably leave us with 3 results. And how do we view the pagination? By going into event type blade and doing, from what I remember, venues links. That's from my memory, not 100% sure. Yep, those links actually appear. Probably should be structured better, but if we go conferences page 2, yep, it is here. Oh yeah, that should be not in that place, but probably a little below here. Refresh that. Yep, below, and if we click 2, it stays on the bottom. So yeah, now we have conferences page. Let's get it back to paginate by 6 or by 9, for example. And we should do the same thing by location, right? So final thing in this lesson, we will repeat the same thing for location. So location slug, location slug, and that slug is useful for SEO purposes. So part of the URL is actually conferences, or part of the URL will be London in our case. So location controller, index, and it will be location. This one will be almost copy paste, except for different relationships. So location controller, location here, sorry, rename it here, and event type, no, it should be location, location here, and then location here instead of event type. Then with event types, where has event types? We don't need that event types, we just need where location ID equals location ID, because this is belongs to relationship. Event types is belongs to many, event location ID is the belongs to. Right, I think that's it, and the routes, the links. So location is the name of the route. In home blade, again, we have the location list somewhere. Yep, this discover space is in, so instead of that link, which is empty, oh, there's no link here at all. Okay, let's make it a link. I'm not sure if it will work, but let's try. So route location, it will be location slug, and we will make that photo a link. Hope it doesn't mess any CSS stuff. And also we'll make that a link. H2 will be also a link. Right, so this is how it looks now. Actually, no, let's wrong URL, event type index. We should fix that actually, but a little later we will get some cleanup phase. Right, so London is /location/London, or Manchester. Let's click it and click on London, and fingers crossed we have something. Undefined variable event type, of course, because it loads different template. Location controller, location, and then instead of event type blade, we will do file save as location blade. Location blade, venues for, location name, and that's it. Refresh, location London, and venues for London. Here we go. We have no pagination because we paginate by 9 and we have only 4 entries. And final thing in this video is the search results page. I completely forgot about that. So let's get to our home page, and actually let's change the link for that home page, because currently in front blade it's index.html, and instead of that let's do actually just home page like this one. Refresh here and the link should be correct now. So we get to our home page, and here on the top there is a search form. So let's create a search form here. Home blade, actually let's close everything else. And here in the form we have this. So form should lead to action route search. Method will be get, because parameters will be get, and we create that route now, web PHP. So similar to this one, so search will be just a search and everything else will be get via URL queries, query parameters, so search controller index, name search. Good, we do controller then, so event type controller, we name that to search controller, and we don't have that slug anymore, and we will have a special query, we will get to that soon. So home blade, what parameters do we have? Event type, people amount, and location, and this is a submit, so that submit should actually work already. Let's refresh the page. It will pass something, so people amount is 1, location London. Let's do the search. It should throw an error, but URL should be correct. So search, event type, and all of those. Undefined variable slug, of course, because we don't have any slug. Now let's get to controller and let's actually take the data. Event type is missing, we don't need those, we just need venue where has, and this is where conditions need to appear. So venue with, and then you do when, value and callback. So when request, what's the URL, requests event type, callback function, query, this, and then we copy it here. So return query where has, and it's not a slug, it's a request event type. I will explain everything in a bit. For now, just follow my typing, and fingers crossed it would work. So when, latest, and paginate. Let's try it out. Instead of event type, we will do search. So new view, it would be not the home, but event type, blade. We do file save as to search blade, and venues for search. Actually, let's rename it to search results. That's it, and then let's just try it out. Refresh the page. We have search results, which are empty. Why they're empty? When event type is 1, we do this. Let's comment those out for now. Refresh the page, and do we see search results? Yeah. So this is incorrect when thing. So the syntax here is when the condition is met, we do function to add something to the query. So let's, is it return missing? No. Oh, of course, it's not the slug, event types ID. So where has ID, yep, everything was great in terms of syntax, it was just a typo of missing field. So when the request has event type, we do additional callback function and doing where has with where condition. It looks complicated, but it's kind of logical. And then another when. So when we have also what's home blade event type people amount. So if we have people amount, we have another query, but in this case we don't need where has, we need just where between actually, where between, no, not between, where venues people amount, no, people minimum is less or equal than request people amount, and also where people maximum is bigger than people amount. Let's try it out again. And probably we will see empty, or actually two. So 1 to 49 people and 1 to 53 people. And if we change that people amount to, for example, 5, we probably should see more. So yeah, 1 to 49, 3 to 15. Yep, so all of them. So this also works. And then location. Final thing is location. People amount is ready. So when request has location as well, we have venues location ID equals request location without any more code. So venues location should be good. Results should not change, and location should be working. Location 2 is empty. Right, final thing, we will have a pagination with parameters. So this is pretty tricky, so stay with me here. On the search blade, in links section, we can add the same parameters as we passed there. The syntax here is we can append any parameters and then call links. So what do we append? We append everything inside of our request, so it would be request all, but we don't need to pass the page number. So it would be except page links. And in search controller, let's change pagination to 3, so we would actually have pages. And let's refresh our page. Search results would be append doesn't exist. Appends, maybe appends. Yep, appends is the correct syntax, sorry. So appends and then search results. If you can see down below, the link contains all the parameters within it. So it's not just search, it's search with event type and with all of that and the pages, page number, and if we go back, it still is page 1. So this is how you can do pagination with preserving all the get URL parameters. So that's it for this lesson. So now we have lists of venues for location, event type, homepage, and search. And in the next lesson, we will take care of the listing of actual venues, so one venue page. Stay for the next lessons.